We got a test. All right. So thank you so much for joining us today. I'm going to rewind a little bit. My name is Mary Starr Carter, and I have released how many pounds? 54, I think today, 55 pounds eating this Rev Up lifestyle. I'm so excited that you're here with us today, watching this recording or watching live. First up, this is the Rev Up Weight Management Program. We're going to hear from the coaches today. We're going to hear some great things. But first up, we're going to reward those of you who've already done Rev Up. We have over $500 in prizes and giveaways. That's right, $500 in prizes and giveaway for you to share about Rev Up. Maybe you're brand new and you haven't even been around Rev Up. Guess what? You can be entered for the free prizes too. All you have to do, we're going to put a post in the Rev Up group. We're going to put posts in our own coaches' private groups where you can share. And how do you do it? Simple. We're going to give you 3 tools. We're going to give you a list of testimonials that you can share. So you can share your own and some of these other testimonials and even pictures. We're going to give you a video. It's about a 20-minute video with some other Rev Up clients who've been through it now 3 times and some of the results they've got and the experience that they've had. And we're also going to give you like a PDF flyer you can print out, all of that. That's just about done. So look for that in the next day. The sharing contest goes from June 5th to June 14th. So that's today to the 14th. Make sure you look for that. You can share on social media. You can share in an email. You can share in a text or messenger. You can share with a friend or a group or maybe someone at church or at work, anywhere like that. So you're going to come back and let us know that you post. You get 1 entry per day. You can do all 4 of those things, but you get 1 entry per day. So you could get all 10 days entries, and the giveaways are awesome. Really, really awesome. We have a whole Thieves Amazing Detox Your House kit. There's several $100s worth of good products in there. We've got some giveaways for you to get some enzymes, some of our nutritional products from Young Living. It's going to be really, really awesome. And the more who play, the more we pay. Just remember that. So it's going to be lots of fun. Look for that in the Rev Up group and in your groups coming today. That's going to be an awesome giveaway. All right. I'm going to hand it back over to Wendy. Here you go.
Thank you so much, Mary. That was awesome. This is an amazing opportunity for you to share and to let everybody know what you've been doing here in this Rev Up Wellness group and earn some amazing prizes as you share and get them into the group to participate with us in June. So you do have some great time to do that. So be sure, if you're just hopping on, make sure you go back and listen to the replay at the beginning so you don't miss this opportunity to win prizes for sharing and getting your friends and family into the Rev Up Wellness group for our June challenge. Okay, so which of our coaches would like to go first? Sheila, I see you're unmuted. Are you ready to share today?
Sure. Hey, everybody. So good to see you guys. Again, one of my biggest nuggets, and it's one that I still have that it holds true to me, is control. And what that means to me is controlling the things that I can control when life is out of control, right? So life just has a way of throwing things at us all the time. And one of the biggest things for me during this was taking control of the food that I eat, and also, learning how to deal with my emotions with that, right? And so that is one of the, I know, emotions for me. And it was one of those things that I learned as well, was that, emotional eating is not just when you're sad, it can be happy. Food is attached to practically every emotion, and learning how to go through those and deal with those has been huge. So, whenever things are going crazy and life is throwing things at you, just remember that you have control. and that you can choose and you can control like your plan, like taking care of yourself, because it's so important to get your water in and eat your containers, and because it helps you feel like you have control in other areas, even though you may not. It just makes you feel better. So that is one of my biggest nuggets, and I hope that you guys have kind of picked up on some of that, and I can't wait to see everybody and how that helps you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Sheila. That was a
Yes.
wonderful tip. And I know for me also that, yes, that learning how to control these areas of our lives really flows into all the other parts of what we're doing in our lives together. So that's one of the things, these skills, these tools that we're teaching you through this Rev Up Wellness Challenge, are things that will overflow as you continue to move forward in applying those. So let's see, Megan, would you like to go up next?
Sheila, how much weight have you released this
I'm 40 pounds. Yeah.
Awesome job.
Sure. I'll go, Wendy.
Okay, thank you, Sheila. I mean, Megan. Thank you, Sheila, for speaking.
Thank you,
Welcome,
Sheila.
Megan.
Yeah.
Welcome, Megan.
Yeah. I'm Megan Trombley. I live down here in Florida. I have released over 90 pounds. And I guess my biggest tip for you is use the accountability that you have been given. When you are in this group and you are able to check in, comment, you can even see someone that's doing really well and message them and encourage them or ask them, what they're doing. Accountability increases your ability to do well by 65%, group accountability. So that was a huge key for me. And in that accountability, be honest with yourself, be honest with the people you can be accountable to, because this will help you go further. We need each other as human beings in so many ways, but on this journey, you need to know that there's other people out there, and they also need to know that you're there for them. So that would be my big tip. Dive into the accountability, into the commenting, find your friends in there and do it together.
Thank you so much, Megan. That is awesome. Yes, I know for me, accountability was one of the keys for me to actually move forward for longer than a short amount of time. But it's so important just from the very beginning to help us stay focused and to move forward and to see the results that we're looking for as you follow the plan that's laid out. And that's what we are all here for. We are all here to help provide that support and give you a place for that accountability to help you move forward in this progress. So thank you so much, Megan. Okay, so let's see. Jen, would you like to be up next?
Sure. Hi, so I'm Jen Strickland, and I have released 83 pounds so far on this Revved Up lifestyle, and I still have some more that I'm working on. So it's I've reached multiple goals and decided I'm going to keep going, and it's been wonderful. I'm just so glad to see the changes. So I'm so excited about all of you that are in here and doing this. And my big tip for you is about mindset. So I was going to talk about a different topic, but this is like the biggest one, this mindset thing. And there's different perspectives or different areas of mindset to work on. One of our coaching clients this morning, she got on our accountability chat, and she said, I was bad and I gained 2 pounds. I'm like, no, you weren't bad. We all have choices. We're choosing to be here. We're choosing our future. We're choosing to put ourselves first. And if we choose a food that's outside of the plan, then that was just a choice. It might not be getting us closer to our goal, but we chose that. So changing the way that we think about ourselves and about food and things is going to be so important. If you stand in front of the mirror and you say things to yourself like ugly stuff, like we would never say to anybody else, That needs to change. Change those to gratitude statements. This is what helped me. I decided, and whenever I looked in the mirror and said one of those old things that I used to say, I changed it. It was like, okay, thank you, body, for protecting me from starvation. I'm okay now. I'm ready to go ahead and release this. I'm not going to starve myself anymore. And thank you for being so amazing and being able to adjust to this new healthy lifestyle. And just come up with those gratitude statements. It will make the biggest difference for you. You're not bad. You're not screwing up. You're making choices and you're choosing you. So glad that you're here.
Thank you, Jen. That's such an amazing tip, such an amazing thing. I know for myself and all of us here, our mindset in making those changes in how we think is the key. I mean, it's one of the hugest keys because we can often follow a plan for a while, but then fall back into all of those that thinking, that negative thinking that's gotten us to where we were instead of reprogramming. And as we reprogram, we get to be a totally new outlook on life and a way to be able to keep moving forward and deal with those thoughts when they come up. So thank you so much for sharing that. So awesome. Such a great tip. Okay, let's see. Heather, would you like to share with us next?
Yes. Hello, my name is Heather Noggle. I'm the co-creator of the Great Body Reset. I'm so grateful to be here talking to you today. You're probably going to be surprised about my topic, but it's sleep. I've been reading a book by a doctor who's a longevity doctor, and he says that, okay, so many things. The book is full of so much information, but in our 40s and in our 60s, if we're not getting the correct sleep, that puts us on the path to Alzheimer's. We're going to try to avoid that by doing everything we can to improve our sleep hygiene. And by the way, I've released 100 pounds. And on my journey to release 100 pounds, I absolutely had to work on my sleep. First of all, I had to learn to stop eating in the evening. You're like, this is a weight loss. Yeah, this is a weight loss topic. I had to learn to stop eating in the evening because eating in the evening was making it so that one of two things. Number one, I'd stay awake because my metabolism is going, yeah, let's do the things. And then if I were eating late, then I didn't experience the weight loss because my body was trying to work against itself to process the food or just let it sit there. It just totally wasn't a good deal. I used to joke that I thought daytime should start at 2 o'clock. And then I would say, I was born at 1:40 p.m. That's what time days start, right? Wrong. I mean, you can do it that way. Just it's not going to lead you to a healthy lifestyle. You're not going to feel good. You're probably not going to lose weight as fast as you could. So, eating earlier in the day, getting my water in earlier in the day, getting my exercise done earlier in the day. These three things were a challenge for me. And I had to work on everything that these other ladies said to get past my, I'm just a night owl mindset, right? To just work with my body to create the conditions that my body needed to release the 100 pounds. I would not have thought sleep was one of them. And he talks about being in residency, and one of his folks that was also in residency was a year ahead of him. He said, look, if you did nothing but be here at the hospital and sleep, you would still be tired. So you would also be tired and miserable. So just go ahead and do some of the, go ahead and live your life. He said, I cannot believe that the medical community feels that way about it. He said, that's absolutely wrong. Studying longevity has totally changed his mind about sleep. In his book, Why We Sleep, another doctor, I forget his name, Mark something. Go find out about sleep and change as many of these metabolic processes in your day to earlier in the day. I promise you, you will be flabbergasted at the results that you get from changing your water, your nutrition, your workout. Do it all earlier in the day. Make a habit. You know what? I really didn't think I could do hard things. I used to say people don't change. You know why I said that? Because I did not want to. I didn't want to change. But guess what? It was hard. But if there were a ratio to how hard it was to how much it was worth it, this number would be way smaller than this number. So worth it. Get your sleep figured out. Do all those things earlier. Turn off everything. Turn off your phone, turn off your television. Stop working. If it's 10 p.m., stop working. The world's not going to stop if you stop and get ready for bed. I don't even care if you go to bed, but stop doing everything else and get ready for bed. 10 o'clock. Lights out, whatever, but stop the things. Get ready for bed. You'll be shocked. I'm pretty smart. I still don't know everything. I had to learn that one the hard way.
Thank you so much, Heather. I totally understand where you're coming from for that. And I know for me also, the sleep is a hard thing. And the timing and getting all those things done early does make such a huge difference in the results that we get and how fast those results happen if we deal with all those things that you were mentioning, with the sleeping and the eating and all of those things done early and not staying up and working late. So I know for some of us that continues to be a challenge, but I know for myself, see the results when I do what you just were sharing with us. So, and I encourage everybody, like you said, do some research on the sleep and the factors that affect it. And I know, like you said, that age group, the 40 to 60s, which is a majority of our people here in our group with us too at this point, many people I hear all the time are dealing with not being able to sleep well, and taking the time to address some of those factors makes a huge difference.
Well, there's several things happening in our metabolisms and in our hormone panels during those ages. And if we just acknowledge that at the start of the conversation or the process, that is a good motivating factor for finding out, okay, I don't sleep like I did when I was 19. Why is that? And what can I do to make it better? It doesn't have to be an, oh gosh, darn it, too bad. It can be a, okay, so how do we work around this? There's always a workaround.
Yeah, exactly. So that's awesome. Thank you so much, Heather, for sharing those tips with us. And okay, so I guess that leaves me. My name, I forgot to introduce myself at the beginning, but my name is Lindy Clayton, and I have lost over, I don't know where I'm at now, over 66 pounds on my Rev Up wellness journey thus far, still working all the way to get to my goals. And I also work with other people along this journey, and they're seeing some amazing results. So happy to be here with you all in this group. So what I wanted to share with you all today is just a quick nugget on how important being consistent is as you move forward. Because one of the things that I've learned, all of these tips the other coaches are sharing, they are all key. All of these little keys that we're sharing with you, all of those together add up to get the results that you are seeing in us, that we have seen, and that we have seen some of you already getting through the Rev Up Wellness challenges. And being consistent is huge. It's huge. That's one of the things I did not do well in the past. I would do things for a little while, and then I would start fudging, and I would miss doing one thing, and I would miss doing this thing. And then I'd fall totally off the wagon. And then I'd have to get back up and start all over again. And one of the things that I've learned is that if you're consistent every single day with that checklist, with those things that you're trying to get in, that you have scheduled, that you have planned, so you're getting your water in, you're getting your ninja red in, you're getting your workout in, you're getting all of your food in as correctly as possible every single day, and you keep moving forward, even if you make a mistake, you don't stop, you just keep moving forward, you don't give up. And if you stay consistent, the results will come. And sometimes the results come faster and sometimes the results come slower. But if we choose to not be consistent, then we definitely will not see the results, and or they will go much, much slower. If we choose to be consistent and we follow each of those steps that we have committed to, then we will see those results and we will see them faster. And then it also helps us to know, okay, I am doing all the things I committed to doing, and maybe things still aren't moving exactly like I wanted. So then you know, okay, what can I tweak? Obviously, if you are doing the steps but missing one of the steps and not getting the results, then that's your first thing to go back and fix or to focus in on. But if you are doing each of those steps, that gives you an opportunity to then laser focus on what else can I do, what can I take to the next level, what can I do to stay moving forward. But if we stop, if we give up one day because we had a hard day and we just messed up and I'm just like, oh, I'm done, I'm not going to keep going, and then it's that much harder to start over the next day. And if you do more days where you get off track and you're not staying focused, it becomes even harder and harder to get moving again. It's a scientific principle. If you keep moving, you're going to keep moving. If you stop, it's like so much more energy to get moving again. So keep moving, stay consistent, stay focused, stay working on all those little steps. Do not give up. Even if you make a mistake, it's just a choice. Like Jennifer said, it's just a choice. You make a choice one day and you can see we've been programmed to think that they're good or bad, but they're not really. It's you have better choices and you have best choices. You have choices that are going to move you forward quicker and choices that are going to maybe move you forward slower, or choices you make to totally stop. So we do have the power to make that choice. So make, focus on that. You get to make the choice of how you deal with every single day, with every single minute of every single hour. And your health is important. Your health is what allows you to do all the things else that you have on that list, taking care of your family, going out and serving people in the community, building that business that you want to build. If you don't have your health, you will not be able to accomplish all of those things, or it will not be comfortable and you just won't live as long. It will not be as fun. I can tell you, um, having done all the things where I was, 60 some pounds, 80 pounds heavier to where I am now, there's a huge difference. There's a huge difference. And having more energy and having more focus and the steps that I've learned through this process have allowed me to do better in all of those areas, and to not just be, totally collapsed at the end of the day, unable to function and overwhelmed because my body is functioning the way it was designed to be. And so you can make those choices, be consistent, get to your goals, and you'll see it. You'll see the results happen. So I'm so excited that y'all have been here with us today, and we are here to continue walking you forward. We're here to answer your questions, and the rest of today, our time here today. Yeah.
Can I give my tip and Corey's, please?
Oh, yes. Sorry, Mary.
That's all right. I'll take 2 minutes.
You had
I
it.
promise. Just
Oh,
2
no,
minutes.
you're good. We have
All right,
plenty of
we got it.
time.
Okay, so real quick, Corey couldn't be here with us today, but one of the things that Coach Corey would want to share with you, she's released over 35 pounds eating the Rev Up lifestyle, is she would want to share putting yourself as a priority. Corey, a lot of you know, she's a widow. She walked her husband through a cancer journey and now is walking her parents through dementia and nursing care and all of those things too. And she found herself in grave condition, right? With crushed vertebra, not being able to walk, just hadn't put herself as a priority for so long. And so that is the tip she would give herself. And that's what Rev Up does. Even though it's only 10 days, it's giving you the tools to make yourself a priority. My tip, and I just want to comment what Jennifer said. Jennifer said, my husband and I had so much more energy on the Rev Up, and we think it was the protein. And I absolutely agree. This Rev Up eating plan is so powerful, not just for inflammation, but the protein you're getting every day. Tina Dillo was asking the other day, she's like, how much do we get? Because I just heard a doctor say we need this much. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're getting that much and more. And for women over 40, it's just a big piece, but it made me feel so satiated. What's that word? You know, so full, so much longer, so much sustained energy, and really stop the cravings. So that's the initial nugget I would give you. But the deeper nugget, if you really want to create lasting change and you want to take the weight off and keep it off, you got to think about what you're thinking about. And what do I mean by that? Well, you've heard mindset. You heard Megan talk about feelings. You've heard this piece. It's not even think about what you're thinking about. You need to take the time to carve out the time to journal, to think about, like, what are my thoughts? Why did I go towards the bacon the other day when I was feeling stressed? What was my emotion? Why did I feel I needed that? Like, really taking the time. And I think people who have the most results that I've seen in the several years that I've been doing this with Rev Up cast members and clients and all that, is that those who carve out time, just like Corey says, to carve out the time for themselves. If you try to take this on along with everything else you're doing, it's going to be more of a struggle versus if you take this time to focus on. Coach Megan, if you want a good example of that, this woman's almost released 100 pounds in 1 year. She made herself commit a priority. She carved out the time. She did the mindset work. She is such a good example of actually doing this all in. And I'm not saying the other coaches didn't, but she's one of my best friends and I watched her do it and she's just phenomenal. So I don't know. All I know is if you want success, follow these successful, amazing coaches too. Thanks, Wendy.
Thank you, Mary. Those are great tips. Thanks for sharing Corey too. I know she's listening in, but wasn't able to come on camera today to share. Corey's one of our other amazing coaches. If you haven't seen her videos in the group, make sure y'all can still go and check out all the videos we shared in this past Rev Up before we take them down. Yeah, we'll be taking them down in about a week and a half or so. So make sure you check those out. So, oh yeah, Rev Up t-shirts. I'll have to put the link up for that. So you see Mary and Jennifer are both wearing their Rev Up Wellness t-shirts. We do have these t-shirts available for you to order. So we'll get the link posted in here on the Facebook group again for you all. So these t-shirts are a great thing. There's tank tops, there's t-shirts, there's several different things that you can order in different colors. But you know what? Get some, wear them, show your pride for being in this group and accomplishing what you've accomplished so far. It's a great way to advertise and let your friends know about it, like Mary was talking about, because we have this challenge for sharing coming up. And when you buy those t-shirts, you are benefiting an amazing nonprofit that Jennifer and I work with, and then Mary helps support. Most ladies here actually help support of our coaches here and have supported or are supporting in many ways. And so part of your t-shirt proceeds go to supporting Ugandan orphan child care ministries. And we work with children and orphans and widows in Uganda. And if you have questions about that, we would love to share. In fact, Jennifer and I need to do a little update video in here with you all about what's going on soon. So we appreciate your support. And it's a great way, like I said, to show what you're doing and how things are going as you move forward through this. So what we're going to do now is we are going to, let me also do this. There we go. We can see everybody. We want to do a little bit of time for Q&A. So we'll start with if anybody here who's in Zoom with us, and we'll also check the messages on the Facebook group. I think Jen is watching that also. So we can answer some questions. And then there were a few questions posted on the event, also the event for one of the ladies who couldn't be on with us. So we'll go back and answer some of those too. But if anybody here who's on right now would like to ask a question, you can either put it in the chat and if you're on Facebook Live right now joining us, put it in the chat and we will respond. Or if you're on here on Zoom, if you want to unmute and share your question, we'd love to hear from you. Anybody have questions? Nobody have questions?
Leslie posted a question. You see it?
Oh, there it is. Okay, I see it now. How many hours before bed do we stop eating is Leslie's question. Anybody want to address that one? Heather, you
Well,
want
since
to
I
share?
talked about sleep, I can talk about that one. There's more than one school of thought on the topic. Some people are like, as long as I stop eating by 8 o'clock, or as long as I stop eating by X number of hours before I go to sleep. I find that it's less about it's less about how many hours before you went to sleep than it is about keeping to a consistent time that you stop eating. What is your goal? Are you trying to, is it for the weight loss, or is it for the increasing the quality of your sleep? What's your objective, Leslie? Weight loss. Well, then the more hours that you have between when you finish eating and before you go to bed, the better. One of the things that he said in his book was Dr. Attio was talking about timed restriction, and I know there's a ton of research about intermittent fasting. But his thing was, there is research that shows if you are doing intermittent fasting, that one thing that a lot of people like to do is just skip breakfast and start their eating window later. He says there's lots of scientific research that indicates that it's better to go earlier. So the earlier in the day that you stop eating, the better. And there's some tips for helping you accomplish that. Herbal teas are a very good one. Stick to the caffeine free ones. If you eat within 2 hours of your bedtime, you don't sleep well. Yeah, me too. The name of the book is Why We Sleep. Okay, so yeah, the more time that you have between when you stop eating and when you go to bed, the better it is for weight loss, the better it is for sleep, the better it is for your metabolic processes. Yeah, I would say at least 4 hours, but more is even better.
I'm going to give a shout out to, I think, Coach Megan and Coach Heather, because they actually do a lot of teaching of intermittent fasting. And I think I see Heather, she wants to give you so much here, but in her private coachings, they do a lot with that too. But, the Rev Up is a 10-hour eating window. And most all of these individuals probably stopped eating 5, 6, 7, went to bed by 10, most of them. Right? We're in bed, most of them. So most of us had even a greater window, but at least a 10-hour window every day. But yeah, my rule of thumb is at least 3, but more like 4 as that. But yeah, Coach Megan and Coach, I don't know if any other coaches teach intermittent fasting and things like that, if you want more advanced coaching, and Coach Heather.
So that's great. Thank you, Heather. Yeah, Jen said, I think we all do. Yeah, we all do some version of that, and monitoring our time with our eating, because that eating window does make a difference, which is one of the reasons, as Mary shared, that we focus on sharing that with you all here as part of the 10-day Rev Up, because for many people that's a change. Even sitting in that 10-hour window is a change and a challenge with your daily schedules. So that's the first step in getting that window kind of narrowed down. And like Heather explained, what she's found, and that's what I have found for me. Everybody's bodies are a little bit different, but it definitely makes a difference to stop eating sooner before bed for sure, for all of those all of those reasons. So anybody else have any questions? Let me see if there's any others that got posted yet.
Jennifer Sager has a question about work. Does work activity count as activity because she's pretty active during her work days? And she has very long work hours.
Oh, Sheila gave some great advice to Tina on that. Do you want to address it, Tina or Sheila?
Okay, yes. Unfortunately, the exercise that we get when we're working is not like consistent 30-minute of exercise, of 30 minutes of walking or something like that. I work on a farm and I take care of 5 horses, and I was always Wilbur. I always thought I was exercising. But I've learned that it's not enough. You have to find a 30-minute consistent time in order to do that, whether it be walking or aerobic, whatever you choose, but 30 minutes of movement. So I hope that helps.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
thank you, Sheila.
this
Oh,
is
go ahead,
different
Jen.
kind of, sorry, this is different kind of movement than what you're normally getting too, right? At work, even if you're active, you have to change up that type of movement. So like, Sheila was saying, like walking is different from the movement that you normally have. And then, depending on whether you do weight bearing type of movement at work, you can kind of have a different type of movement, but it's all, yes, I work hours can be long. People are very busy these days. Like most people are very, very busy. So finding that time to prioritize yourself, as I think that was Mary Starr was talking about, that make yourself a priority over your work, get up earlier or do it, in the evening, and figure out that best time for you to make something like that work out. And then I think we had a question. We have some questions later in here also, Wendy.
Okay.
Can I say one other thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just saw her response about the time frame. You kind of knew the answer. I will tell you that once you start getting up earlier, if you start getting up earlier, you start, like they've all said, cutting out your eating window and going to bed earlier, you will find that you have more energy. And when you get started with the exercise, it is a challenge in the beginning. But after a while, if you start making it a priority and just being consistent, you will look forward to getting that in. And I know for me, I found that even if I have to get up at 4:30 in the morning to start my day, it works better for me than whenever it's at the end of the day and I have too many other things going on and I can't squeeze it in. So.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really great. And I would say too, for the fitting stuff in. So I've worked with some people who also have those really long hours. Some of them have been nurses working in a hospital situation or other things. And those that are working those 12 and 14-hour shifts at work, the food thing is hard because then you're really having to eat your food before you go home for the day. That alone can be challenging. But then the exercise was another thing. And so some of them were able to actually get their 30 minutes in, focused like on a lunch break, and that kind of thing during their work hours. So you're not having to come home and do it in the evenings or get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Now I will tell you, one of my friends that went through my initial kind of challenge when I started this in 2021, she was a teacher, and so she amazed me. She was up at 4 a.m. every single morning to get her workout in before she had to be at school, so she could get up and get her workout in, get showered, get her food ready for the day. And oh my goodness, I don't even know. She's lost well over 100 pounds at this point. And so it can be done. it takes commitment, and it takes time, to walk through those changes. As was mentioned, your body will adjust, you will feel better, and you can make it work. So do what you can, do the best you can, take it one part at a time, and make those adjustments, and see how well that how it works for you. I think that would be, we'd love to hear if you're able to make some of those changes and do that. So yeah, Jennifer just shared some other things too. So yeah, walking is always a good way to wind down at the end of the day too. Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about too. Also, other people we know that were up at 4 a.m. every single day and I like number of them had to finish their food before they went home for the day, because they didn't, they were committed, especially some that did that shorter window too. So yeah, that's one of those areas we get to work on changing our mindset around those things, and not saying we can't do it, but changing it to say I can do it. I will figure out how to make this work. It might take me a little bit of adjusting, but I can do it. And you know what? Our mind wants to line up with what we're saying and what we're thinking. That's why changing our mindset is so important.
Can I chime in here for 1 second?
Yes.
I think also the importance of getting up before she goes to work or anybody goes to work, you're putting yourself a priority, right? You're putting yourself priority. You're giving your best to yourself, because at work, hopefully we all give our best to the people we're working for. We like our career, what we're doing, but I think that change in mindset and that putting yourself first is so key. So getting up rather than trying to squeeze it in your day would be the best case scenario, in my opinion.
Yes, Megan, I have seen that to be true for me and for many others. Um, I know that for some that it's really hard, so they don't. But the ones that have made that commitment, it makes a difference. It sets the tone for the whole day, right? It sets the tone for the entire day. It makes such a difference. And I think Leslie just had to hop off, but I did want to go ahead and address that real quick here. She had a question about, can I combine a meal or and a snack like in the day? Because I think she's referring to, we kind of had a sample schedule laid out in our packet for the Rev Up Wellness. That is a sample guideline just to help you be able to see how to spread out your food within that 10-hour window. It is helpful to have the space between your meals. And I think she said because of like being gone and then not back in time for the next thing. So one thing I will say about that is you pack your food and take it with you. So if you do want to stick to like I'm having lunch here and I'm having my snack here, so I don't go too long without eating, because too long between your eating also can cause some challenges. I know for me, if I get too hungry, then that's when I start wanting to grab all the things. So for me, a key has been you pack your food, you pack your snacks, and I always have backup stuff with me in my purse and in my little lunch bag that I carry with me. Jennifer, Heather, I mean, y'all you've seen seen what I do and how I always have stuff. So it makes a difference. It makes a huge difference to be prepared and always have that stuff with you, because then you don't have the excuse of going, I'm starving and I just can't wait. And I have to go drive through that drive through. I have to go here to grab something. I will say, if you find yourself stuck somewhere and you're out, it takes the same amount of time to run into the grocery store and grab something from the produce section as it does to go through a drive through at a fast food place. So there's another tip for you. Don't make the excuse of I don't have time when it takes the same amount of time to run into every grocery store. And most gas station convenience stores now have fruit and choices that you can grab, especially the bigger ones. They even have all these little nice veggie things and all of those fun things in case you find yourself out on the road and stuck. But the best thing to do is you always take stuff with you. Always have snacks and your meals with you. If I'm going to be gone and I think I might run late, I have my lunch, I have my dinner, I have all the things with me. And that's taken time to put a thing, but it's something when I made the commitment to make these choices to be able to move forward. And this is something that I teach my clients also, is if you're committed to the goals that you've set for yourself and you're committed to getting the results, then you get to take the time to plan ahead, prepare, and take those things with you. And then, yeah, these are great things. Yeah, going to the grocery store. It's super easy. I mean, we're in Texas, HEB is what we have by us, but you know, you go in the produce side and you've got produce, you've got prepackaged, ready to grab things. They have like the meals to go things, you've got salads, you've got quick protein things you can grab that are going to be a way better choice than going through a drive-through. And people tend to forget that you can do that, like that you can literally just go up to the drive-through, go through the quick checkout, and you're done. And you're done. And yeah, loves gas stations, Buc-ee's if you have Buc-ee's by you. They both have great food selections. Like they're not the best prices, but you can get veggies, you can get hard-boiled eggs, you can get fruit. Don't buy the desserts. Don't buy the desserts that they have there. Don't get the chocolate chip cookie dough little things in the containers. They should get rid of those things. But anyways, yeah, the emergency purse food. Yeah, so apples are always great. There's meat sticks. There's like beef sticks you can get that are on plan. We have several that we all use. So, anyways, so I hope that helps with that planning ahead kind of thing and what to do with your schedule. And you can definitely combine your meals and your snacks, but I encourage you not to go way too long. You know, don't find yourself 4 or 5 hours between your meals. First of all, it pushes your window hard to fit it in the time we're talking about, but also you'll get too hungry. You'll get like really hungry, and then you'll just grab whatever you can get your hands on, and that causes us challenges. So let's see what else. Anybody else? Yeah, prepare. Stay out of the fudge section. And the nuts at Buc-ee's. Oh my gosh, the fresh roasted nuts. Anyways, I'm not going to talk about all the food we get to avoid for the time being. Those are good treats. So yeah, Heather, staying out of the gas stations unless it's a big one that you know has those choices. I will say even the smaller ones have fruit now. I've seen most of even our little tiny ones, but the grocery store is a better option. The grocery store is a better option than a convenience store if you have one nearby you, because then
I
you have
think the
candy.
gas station thing depends on where you are in the country, because where I live, I have to go on a hunt. I tell myself, I know there's something in here for me. And in most of the gas stations in this part of the country, the water bottle is the only answer, the only one.
Yeah, which is why being prepared and always packing your stuff to take with you is the best choice, because you also know what is in your food that you're packing. You know exactly how it fits into the plan that you're choosing to follow, and it's the safest thing. It's the safest thing. That's the only way all of us have gotten to where we are today, is because we've made that commitment to do that. And I know I have, and some of my others that I know well. When we haven't made those choices, then we run into challenges if we get stuck somewhere, and it's much more difficult to do that. And then let me just answer your question real quick. Look at the dates real quick. So we will be okay. So there were some questions about how long the information that we currently have in the Rev Up group for, like, from the videos and such from the May challenge will be up before we clean them up. We always clean them up before we start the next challenge. So everything will be up in there until like June 19th is about when we'll start pulling all of those things, because we will be adding new people into the group on the 21st of June. And we will start prep days for the June Rev Up Wellness on June 23rd, and day one will be June 26th. So if you didn't have those dates on your calendars yet, make sure you put them down. And I'll actually get a calendar posted inside just so people have that as a upfront reminder at the top now that we finished the May one. Let's see. Any other questions? Was there any other questions on Facebook, Jen, that you saw at all?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Well, if we don't have any other questions from those here, then I think we are going to wrap up today. So thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, coaches, for being here to share with us, sharing your tips and your nuggets and your expertise. And I look forward to seeing all of you and hearing from all of our coaches as we move forward in prepping for our June Rev Up. And don't forget to check out, I think Mary's going to do a post in the group shortly with the challenge. The challenge to invite your friends that start today, and I believe it goes through the 14th of June only. So you're going to see the list of things to do if you missed that at the beginning, and you are going to be able to have an opportunity to win some amazing prizes for sharing and getting your friends into the Rev Up Wellness group for June. So thank you all for being here today. We are going to, we will see you in the group.
Bye.
That's live stream.